Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Dawn Melanie. Today, I want to welcome you all to another episode of my series titled Managing Self. My weekly format of discussing with you, my listeners, how I have managed myself, particularly over the course of the past 2 decades, while battling relapsing, remitting multiple sclerosis, or, as some of us have so affectionately termed it, the MS monster. Maybe you don't, but I do. I refer to MS, or multiple sclerosis, as such, as a monster. This month, September 2018, I began my 21st year of my MS journey, dealing with multiple sclerosis. I'd say it's been, well, I've been down, oftentimes I've been down a curvy road, pretty laden with detours, with no such signage to give me any heads up of any unfavorable conditions that were lying ahead. It's weird. It's like, I'm trying to think of all these adjectives to describe MS because it's pretty serious in my opinion. So, I look at it like this devious character, someone I wouldn't really go hanging out with, and I never voluntarily play a game of cards with, game of cards or checkers or just what have you, just some fun activity. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, you know what? I definitely wouldn't play blackjack with MS, because even though I'm not a gambler, I just don't take risks. I'm not a gambler. Okay, anybody who knows me knows that I'm pretty not risk taking. Same. You look at my history. I've taken my agreed upon disease-modifying drug, whatever, say I'm going to be taking. I've taken that over the past 19 and a half years as scheduled. Well, actually, 19 and a half years I've been on a disease-modifying drug. And I've taken the schedule, without any fail. And, I've done this a couple of times. I sat back and go, wow, man, the weekly injections that I've taken, probably over 400 of those, intramuscular injections. On top of that, I've taken, of course, subcutaneous injections. I've taken those 3 times a week, period where I've taken it every other day, and even when I've taken it daily. There's a lot of sticking myself, and I'm sure some of you, or many of you out there, may consider yourselves as well a human pincushion. I hate that, but that's kind of how I felt at times. Now, I consider myself pretty transparent. Some may not, but I like to lay it all on the line, or more or less, most on the line. By who I am, what I do, not really, nothing's really changed in, I'm going to say 40 years. And I'll be 46 years old in a couple of months, I say. But anyway, before my MS diagnosis, and this after that, which was after March 11th, 1999, and to this very day, I think that I'm pretty much open, and I don't have much to hide. And kind of like Mama said, people can take it or leave it, or as some people say, if somebody shows you who they are the first time, pay attention, because that's who they are. So, I don't think I've ever changed who I am. Unfortunately, that's totally different than MS. Anyway, because I do think that I'm so predictable in a lot of ways. I don't know. Yeah, predictable. That's a word. Sounds kind of, but I am predictable, boring, whatever. I take my medications pretty much religiously. And that's pretty much how I live my life. Just kind of schedules and things like that. And some people have laughed at me because I still take birth control pills. And I would guesstimate that I've probably only missed 5, no more than 7 total. Definitely less than 10. When I say missed, I mean missed on schedule. in the past. I probably missed at most 10 in the past almost 3 decades. Yeah, 3 decades. And my husband, I will share it with you, and my husband has been vasectomized. So people may say, wait a minute, that's an overkill, right? I say, well, no, I don't think so. That's just an example of me how much I do like structure, doing things in a methodical way. That's how I think. That's how I function. I know some people don't, and MS, multiple sclerosis, certainly doesn't. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, if only MS would be a fraction as predictable as I am. But good luck with that. Like, that's never going to happen, and I don't expect it to happen. Then, of course, I think of when those whatever things you call them anecdotes. I don't know. That my mom always says, and I always quote her. I love quoting my mom. She's so funny. Great influence on me. So I like quoting her. Pardon me if you think it's corny, but I'm going to continue to do it. Anyway, my mom always says, or has always said, well, she still says it, if a frog had wings, it wouldn't bump his ass on the ground every time he jumped and landed. I'm like, well, what? Like that's ludicrous, Mom. I'm thinking as a kid, when I was much younger, I thought this was absolutely ridiculous. Frogs don't have wings, but as I got older, I kind of put it together. Okay, if, conditional of course, if a frog had wings, it would be able to fly. And if it was flying like let's say a helicopter, I guess it could hover and land really easily, and not bump its derriere when it approached the ground and landed. So I get it. It was an if, kind of like yeah, right. If I was, I don't know. If I was, I'll use one. I'll use one that's far fetched. Maybe one day. This won't be far fetched, but that's like if MS is just like that. If I could snap my fingers and we'd have a cure for MS, and we'd all be MS free. How about that? If I could do that, snap my fingers, and MS was gone, that'd be wonderful. But you know what? That's not gonna happen. So I understand she was pulling for some far-fetched, almost impossible, at least at this point in time, or that point in time where it's made reference to, just kind of give me the grandeur of something more or less not probable at that time. It's funny. My mom and I, like, as I'm older now, we'll go back and forth, and I'll tell her about probability versus possibility. See. Okay, frogs don't have wings. Yeah. So that's not going to happen. They're going to keep bumping their ass every time they jump and land. But it is possible that frogs can have wings. She's like, no. I'm saying, no, Mom, it is, because the possibility is always there. Anything's possible. It's just the probability. Again, at this point in time. Anyway, back to my blackjack analogy or metaphor. You guys know that I like those. As I was saying, I wouldn't play a game of anything with multiple sclerosis. I think it cheats. It's just a cheater. I definitely wouldn't play a game of blackjack. And, I say blackjack because one of them, I guess, is one of the more simple card games. I don't know if I even know how to play solitaire effectively. I don't think I do, but I'm sure I can pick it up. But blackjack is pretty simple in my opinion. Goal is to get 21 or closest to 21 without exceeding that point value. So it's kind of an easy one in my opinion. Anyway, I know the face cards are more or less key in, as it is in most games. Most card games, you get a face card, what was it, suit, king, queen, jack, ace. I know those face cards are pretty valuable, and especially in blackjack. Because I know if you or your opponent turns over, first card or first draw is dealt, and if you have the two cards that are, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you overturn one or two. See, that's how much I don't play cards, but I do know in the course of the game that if you see you have two face cards, it's a pretty good indicator of a win. Or pretty darn close. I mean, unless you have the 21, then probably was that game over. But either way, my point is, you look at the face cards, and you have a pretty good idea of where you stand to win in this game. It could be you win, it could be a tie, or what is called a draw. But nonetheless, you're in pretty good shape. If you see, wow, I have 2 face cards, I'm doing good, you know. And I use that analogy pretty much because I think of it as the opposite of my, I call it my MS game that I've been playing for the past almost 20 years now. MS is not so conspicuous. I mean, you think you're in a good position because things are going good. You know, you're walking, you're talking, you're hearing, your motor skills are good. You're not experiencing any. Let me speak as far as my scenario, my personal case. Like I said earlier, I do have relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, and that means basically, I like to liken it as times where the MS is laden or dormant temporarily. It's kind of asleep. Okay, it's there, but unless something happens to awaken it, the symptoms. Unless there's something like stress. For me, stress, good old stress, heat, pretty much my main triggers. Those 2 triggers will almost undoubtedly, no doubt, almost 100% lead to some sort of an exacerbation for me. It has in the past, and I'm quite aware of that, which is why I'm pretty cautious as to how I let things affect me and how I respond to them. So, I know I can't just go running around the heat 120 degrees and let people stress me out and get mad in traffic and all those sort of things. I don't go out late. I drive non-traffic hours. I think of these things in the head. I plan ahead. I'm trying to be mindful of conditions that I can avoid to be less stressed. Like I always say stress less, no stress free, but I think ahead of these things. Now, unfortunately, MS doesn't really give a rat's ass. Excuse my French. Or, well, I guess that's not French. Anyway, MS kind of has its own agenda at different times when you least suspect it. Over the past 20 years, MS has been, just kind of pops up on you, disguised. It's not apparent. Like I said, blackjack, you got 2 face cards, you're doing pretty good, right? You kind of know where you stand, or relatively stand in the final outcome of the game. But with my MS, nothing like that is disguised. Just when you think you're doing good, it'll come slap you upside the head and make you make me. It has made me drop my whatever I was holding, maybe a plate or a cup or something like that. Very very disturbing, very challenging to maintain a level focus and kind of move forward. But like I said about choices, we always have a choice. So like I said, for 20 years I've gone through some stuff with MS, and one thing I know is I can let it slow me down, let it stop me, but I do choose to move on and overcome the challenges. I'm not saying I'm going to be Superwoman and it's not going to happen. I'm just saying that I choose to address it and make the best of it, the best that I can, if possible. Not if possible, when possible. I mean, every instance is an opportunity to address whatever challenges is that presented in front of me. So that's what I want to say. But like I said, blackjack, you know where you stand. MS, not quite all the time. Actually, not quite most of the time. As I've alluded, I've never been, much of a risk taker. But MS, it does what the hell it wants. Like my mama says, if you can't beat them, sometimes you got to join them. Okay. Okay. All right, mama. I know she didn't really say that. I did. I just said that because that's what I believe. But she did say that, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, And I'm like, okay. Of course, I have to look up what gander was. I didn't realize one's a female, one's a male or something like that. I don't know. I'll go ahead and clarify. Yeah, mama, I did liberally extrapolate on your line of thinking there. Good for the goose, good for the gander. So I figured MS had me, all you guys listen today, I am not always positive. I promise you, I do have my bad days. And MS actually had me bummed for a couple of days before I was diagnosed officially in 1999. Before diagnosis, I was bummed for like a couple of days with MS. But since then, I've never relinquished control to it. That is to MS. I do everything in my power to not allow MS to elicit any negative emotions like fear or sadness. I try to keep that under bay, but of course, I try. Anyway, I figured if daily, I take this like heaping spoon. Hey guys, here we go with another metaphor. Anyway, I thought like, man, if every day I can like wake up and take this big old heaping spoon of a medicine that, when that would counteract any particular poison or an MS antidote. That's what I call it. So I figured if I would like take this heaping spoon of MS antidote, I'd be better. So that's why I did, and I continue to wake up with that positive attitude. I had it then, I still have it now. Never, it's never unwavering, never changed. March 1999, after March 11th, 1999, I vowed to do things that MS says I could not do. Things that MS said that I would never do. Things that even non-MSers unrealistically believe is impossible for them to do as well. I vow to continue to strive to do those things and do them damn well. Now, some of these things are simple. Some of these things are more complex. But all the challenges that I've accepted over the past 20 years, the challenges that I've tackled, the things that I tackle every day, I've defeated. I've defeated many of those. And to a large degree, I believe that many of these are simply medical fallacies. And to this day, I still strive to prevail over those said MS challenges. You won't be able to do activities in the sun, or you won't be able to do a lot of physical things that you once did, or that many of your MS counterparts can't do. Things that try to define me. A side note is, I want to say an important side note, like star, is to recognize and accept that I have not overcome all of my MS challenges. I'm just pointing out that I have overcome a sizable number of them, and even if I don't conquer a challenge, I feel that as long as I keep giving it my all, never giving up, well, that's it. I've won. As long as I keep going, I've won. Why? Because I feel that, I'm the driver's seat, and now it's my control, unrelinquished to MS, multiple sclerosis, the bully monster, the MS monster or the bully. Now, if you've listened to any of my past episodes, you already understand the gist of me. Each week, I resonate I try to resonate, kind of the vibe of late 80s or early 90s, I'm not sure. Janet Jackson's lyrics from her single Control. This is story. Pardon me. I'll quote it here. I won't sing it. I'll just quote it. No singing, guys. I'll be easy on your ears. Anyway, the lyrics include, "This is a story about control. My control. Control of what I say. Control of what I do." I like that. I like that a lot. I liked it back then, but I like it more now. It's like funny. It's like, you hear songs that kind of catchy tunes, but I'm listening to it now, and I guess I'm putting more of my emotions into that. So I like it a lot. In fact, I'll go ahead and I'll read it again to you guys. This is a story about control. The control, pardon me, I messed up. This is a story about control. My control. Control of what I say. Control of what I do. Now, if you've listened to previous shows of mine that doesn't managing self, or seen any of my social media posts, you pretty much get an idea of me and my MS. What I say and what I do, what I post. Directly, and some I consider tongue-in-cheek. That is the post. I post a lot of things that are tongue-in-cheek. I'll be honest, I like you to post things to make you go, kind of like, is that possible? Is that real? But that, I like that. It's kind of raising an eyebrow every now and then, but also a little tongue-in-cheek. I'm a little cynical in a lot of ways, so especially with MS. I mean, things look one way and are just the opposite. So the things I'll sometimes post are things to raise an eyebrow, things to try to get your attention, and things to make you say, I do have a Facebook album and it's actually a collection of pictures over the past decade. Well, only the past decade, that's when I joined. So, that's why it only has pictures from the past 10 years. Anyway, the name of the album is DM Whooping MS. And that album, the content of that album, the content of that sums up my managing myself, managing multiple sclerosis, setting out to go toe-to-toe with it. Better yet, expecting to come out of the ring victorious. The winner, the champ. DM, the champ. Aha, bam. That's the whole gist of that album. Pictures of DM whooping MS. I mean, it's all positive. I mean, I'm sure I got a couple pictures of me with the eye patch on where I couldn't see a darn thing out of my left eye. My vision was gone for about 5 or 6 weeks. There's pictures of me with the IVs, or the ports kind of dangling out of my veins, and I'm in the gym working out. Yes, because I could. Definitely a eyebrow raiser and things make you go, Some would say that's kind of crazy. I agree. It's a little out there, pushing myself, but kind of doing things that people say I can't do, especially MS. But, I sit back and go, like, why would I do anything less? Why would I accept a limitation on what I can do? Things that help me to be happy and more complete. Like I said, MS is a bully. In my opinion, MS is a bully, and it's a bad, I don't know, I don't say bad person. I'm gonna give inanimate object a title of a person, but MS to me, in my opinion, is a robber. It's a thief. It's taken so many things from me. I'll never forget, first my thought that was I was 25 years old. I'm like, wow, it's taking my autonomy away from me. What is this? What's going on? And oftentimes I've felt like that within the past, within the past 20 years. There's more times than, that was before I was even diagnosed. I didn't know what is going on with me. Whoa, wait a minute. My autonomy has been stolen. What was MS, which I later learned. So I think MS is a thief. So my point is, I'm not going to sit down and just let MS do what it wants to. So I'm not going to do anything less. I'm not going to do anything less than give it my all, again, to go toe to toe with MS and fight it. And so some of the pictures may be, me getting IV'd, or as we say, juiced up, or sticking a inch and a half 18 gauge needle intramuscularly. But the point is, it's all positive. That's me taking action to become victorious, overcome the MS challenge. So, like I said, that's me. And if you follow me, choose to follow me. If you, I guess, want to be entertained or given some encouragement, what have you. I've learned that there's a lot of stuff out there or out in the world. We don't have to absorb it all. We get to choose what we want. It's available, the good and the bad. So if you choose to follow me, there's literally on my post, hashtag no selfie control. So some may ask, why all the pictures? Others, they may just go on and make an uneducated assumption. And I used to get upset about that, but I no longer let that bother me. Yeah, I know, but you look so good. Right. See, that's the bait. I'll get that as the bait. People oftentimes judge a book by its cover, even though we've been taught and showed that that's probably not the best way to formulate an opinion or to respond to something. But it's human nature, and I do understand that. So I think that's the bait to get people in. I know myself. I've been reluctant to take risks. I told them I'm a risk taker. Oftentimes, we only take leaps of faith when we have to. It's like, either we do this or else. Then we'll make a move, whether it be a physical or psychological move, whatever. But only then do we make a change. Me, all the pictures, I look at it like this, real simple. It's documentation of my life. 20 years in county with multiple sclerosis, the evil MS monster. So, through these pictures, I'm showing others if you want to look at it, you can. If you don't, turn your head, turn the other cheek, turn the other head, whatever. I look at it as me showing people that, or for me, for myself to know that, I don't just want to survive and live with multiple sclerosis. I want to thrive, even though I have multiple sclerosis or anything else. I want to thrive in every area of my life. Some people focus on finances, things like that, but I want to strive in every area of my life. And unfortunately, MS affects a lot of areas because, our vocations, our jobs change with limitations that MS has put upon us. So, I like to show people that, well, here's a picture where I can do this, I can do that. Some people never even dreamed of doing some of the things that I've done. But I've done with MS. And, it's just kind of, I look at it as me, I'm sharing my happiness. Guys, like I said, I'm not always happy. I have down times, but I do like to shine a light on those happy moments. And when I'm happy, I'm feeling awesome. I'm talking great. There's no drug out there that can be better than a natural high. People laugh at me. I'm like, no, I'm not a risk taker. I've never smoked marijuana. I've never had a joint. Yep, not a one. I'm not in that kind of pain. I don't have MS pain or any other pain. But I think the happiest I've ever been is when I'm naturally happy, and I like to show that because it's possible, guys. It's possible to just be happy and radiant, and pretty much I like it. I like it when it like rubs off on somebody else. When someone else kind of takes that, rubs shoulders with someone, and they actually take some of my they don't take it away from me, but they actually get some happy on them. I guess, yeah, let's get happy on them. That's funny. 30 minutes ago, less than an hour ago, I was having lunch, and a lady walked up to me and asked me about working out. She was under 40. She was younger than I was, but we were talking about just health, doing things for our health. Well, long story short, after our discussion, she said, "You're an inspiration to me." I said, "Okay, cool." I'm an inspiration to her. Dawn Melanie, the 21st year MS warrior. I'm an inspiration to her. Well, that actually made me happy. It's kind of like a cyclical thing. I was thinking as I drove home, I was like, oh man, that's the power of paying it forward. I told her about my experiences briefly in my situation, where I am in life, and I think it's like I was able to pay it forward, and I'm not trying to get money. I'm not trying to receive any monetary benefits from this, any monetary gains. I am a certified trainer, and I could have trained her and charged her money and stuff like that, but that's not what I was after. But what I did get, I got that happiness from her. She left happy. I witnessed her happiness, and that was greater than anything that money can buy. Okay, so of course I can go on all day, on and on and on, about being happy. I love being happy. It's awesome. It's the greatest medicine drug there is out there. But I just wanted to thank you all for joining me this week. I do plan on having a part 2. I'm gonna commit to it right now. I'll commit to having, next week will be hashtag no self-control part 2, where I'll extenuate some more on the topics or issues that I think I just touched upon today. But I do want to talk about them some more. Just like I said, by being happy, going out there doing you, and I think all that I do, all that we do, that happens to us is cyclical as far as what we put out there in the universe and what comes back to us. I know that my happiness is, some people say my smile is contagious. I guess that's a good contagious something. But I know that for me to be happy, I need to be healthy. And when I'm healthy, I sure am happy. Wait, that's it, right? Yeah. If I want to be happy, I need to be healthy. And when I'm healthy, I'm certainly happy. So, anyway, this is Dawn Melanie, and I thank you for joining me, and I do hope you'll join me next week for another episode of Managing Self, where I'll be talking about hashtag no self-control part 2. Thank you, and have a blessed week.